Hello, welcome to Family Movie Night, where we'll be talking about what we watch for Family Movie Night. My name is Mike, and today we're talking about Home Alone. Home Alone is the 1990 movie. It is about an 8-year-old troublemaker mistakenly left home alone, must defend his house from a pair of burglars on Christmas Eve. This is directed by Chris Columbus, written by John Hughes, and starring Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, John Hurd, Catherine O'Hara, and John Candy, among numerous other people. This is a movie that I've seen a ton of times as a favorite Christmas movie, but more importantly, as a movie that's set in the Chicago suburbs. This is this is a movie that I feel like it's appointment viewing to watch something like this. So we decided to watch it for family movie night, and I have very complicated feelings about this. So, as somebody who used to watch it, and this was a definite thumbs up as a kid, I'm going to say it's somewhere between thumbs up and thumbs middle for this case. So, thumbs like three quarters, I suppose. And some of the questions that I have about this, it really falls into just my different perspective right now because as a kid, I always thought that it was super funny when Kevin, who's played by Macaulay Culkin, when he has to duke it out with some of the with Harry and Marv. I thought the booby traps in the house were really good. I thought the way that he outsmarted them using the VHS tape, using mannequins and posters, and different things like that, I thought were really funny. Plus, also, there was something so cool about being left home alone and just utilizing the house to the best of your abilities. But as I've progressed throughout my life, and also I have become a parent, this movie kind of terrified me now. There's something about the prospect of like leaving your kid accidentally at home, and granted, with smartphone technology and the ability for kids to figure out, plenty of things for them to do on their own, I was kind of nauseous watching this because just the whole idea of having my kids just kind of be by themselves during Christmas just stressed me out a lot. And then not only that, some of these booby traps are very elaborate for an 8-year-old to potentially be doing on their own, but also, man, some of these booby traps are way more violent than I remember. Some of them are really funny, like, putting ice on staircases and having someone slip and fall. That's funny. Having someone run into like plastic wrap and glue and then having feathers be blown at them. That's funny. Tripping on tripwire. That's funny. But there's a lot of things in here that's like, ooh, that's a lot more violent than I remember. So, for example, getting hit in the face with an iron. That probably hurts a lot. And thank God that it wasn't hot. But the two things where there's a giant burn. So, for example, where Harry burns the McAllister M from the doorknob into his hand, and then also when Harry gets his head blowtorched by I don't understand the complicated rig that they came up with there. And as somebody who has stepped on Legos plenty of times in their lives, watching the part where Marv steps on glass ornaments, just I couldn't watch it. I just couldn't. So as somebody who still loves to this day and grew up with this movie, it kind of stressed me out a little bit rewatching it again. But I still have a lot of my favorite parts, like the conversation between Kevin and Old Man Marley in the church is a favorite part, although my wife and I had very complicated feelings watching a group of kids singing in a choir and no parents watching them at all. We just found that very funny. And then also the part where Kevin is walking home with his groceries and the bag breaks and he just looks at the camera like, damn it. Like, I can't believe I did this. The Daniel Stern's reaction when a spider gets put on him is easily one of my favorite parts of this movie. And then the part at the end when they all come back. I think Kevin's mom, who's played by Catherine O'Hara, could. I'm sure that from a script perspective, it's kind of hilarious that she spends all this time trying to find a way to get back to Chicago when the rest of her family, they just wait, they take their normal flight and they get back at the exact same time. I think that is hilarious. And then the other thing as well is that just seeing some of the people that are in this movie. Kieran Culkin is in this. I'm sorry, Academy Award winner Kieran Culkin is in this. The guy from Pete and Pete is in this. Buzz, your girlfriend, Wolf, is still something I say, and still something that there's a fair amount of people who don't get that or don't understand that. Every part with John Candy in this is hilarious. So I love that. So the only thing that I didn't really like about this, and I wouldn't say I didn't like about this, is just it's it's just different from what I remember, and just my perspectives changed. Finally, what did I learn from this movie? So, words matter. Your family is still important, no matter how upset you get at them. I think Old Man Marley says it the best, where you love your family, but sometimes you forget that you love your family, and then you run into a situation where things get upsetting. So, you learn a lot about the significance of family, especially during the holidays, and the issues that could arise if you let grudges get in the way. So, those are my thoughts on Home Alone. What did you think of the movie? Is this one that's your favorite, or do you have complicated feelings about it? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Family Movie Night. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at HiFlyerCreative.com. Follow us on Letterboxd at E2452 and follow our list labeled Family Movie Night. Check out the other shows on our network. We've got a lot of great content. Really proud of the work that everyone's doing. So check out the other shows on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.